Welcome to State of Business on our television with me, Kavish Kaperera. Let's take a look at today's headlines. Digitalization along with a sustainable economy is the way forward for a better Sri Lanka, says business veterans. Rating agency proclaims that non-performing loans of banks rose by over 60%. News in detail. Planning Playbook to Survive and Thrive, the panel discussion organized by the SNPEX provided a platform for the professionals and industry veterans to address the working professionals and corporates on how to survive and thrive within the current economic behaviors created by the tragic incident that took place on the 21st of April. Here we bring you some thoughts and advices from the veterans who addressed the session, which Art Television was the media partner. Hence, Chief Marketing Officer at Dialog Telecom PLC, Nushad Pereira, sharing his thoughts with the gathering.
I think the question is not when will we become smartphone penetrated, it will be when will we start using and trusting the smartphone first. You can have smartphones to every Tom, Dick and Harry into the Govirala, but if the Govirala does not have internet connection, does not go to Google and type and search, he will not know the pricing. Look at what Pick Me has done to the three-wheeler driver. Who ever thought, I never thought, the tuk-tuk driver will use a smartphone. Today, Pick Me has come and changed that entire mindset. None of our boardrooms ever thought about this low-end SEC, D, SEC, E people using smartphones. Never in our trajectory or projections. But it's all changed. So technology has changed. Look at the way how Uber Eats has come and changed the delivery network. But Pizza Hut is still running on SMS. But you are ordering from Pilaus on Uber Eats, you can see the rider coming and you are using it. So digitize, overlay technology into your industries now, digitize your industries now. If not, like Otara said, you'll be wiped out. You'll be wiped out overnight.
On the other hand, commenting on the devastated tourist industry post-Easter Sunday attacks, Chairperson and Managing Director at Jetung Travels, Shiromal Kure, elucidated that sustainable tourism is the future of Sri Lanka.
One thing that this crisis taught us was that tourism pervades a lot of other areas, whether it's a tuk-tuk driver or an egg seller or a flower seller. A lot of people are impacted by lack of tourists. So it shows that tourism can really improve a lot of people, as you say, from the small to the big person. So we need to nurture it properly, and I agree with them about the environment, sustainability. I think sustainable tourism is going to be the future for Sri Lanka because we're a small country, and most of the sites that we have, there is a carrying capacity. So we must use methods to how to measure those, how to manage. For example, Yala, Sigiriya, we need to do a lot of things like that. Visitor management and training and all of that. So if we do that, I agree that tourism can help a lot. And technology, of course, is going to be the driving force for tourism as well.
Thereby taking Shiromal Kure's point further, CEO and Managing Director at MS Krida emphasized that sustainable economy should consider waste as a resource and exploit it in future ventures.
The next big money-making, booming industry is going to be an industry that takes waste as raw material, plastic as raw material, fabric as raw material. So if we can start those, now we've already started, the cricket jerseys that we are wearing is made out of ocean plastic. We are starting to do that recycling. So when we start doing that, it's not just a case of dumping it. We are talking about circular economy. It's good to create the shirt, but then what happens when the shirt is worn? If we don't have the mechanism to take that shirt, shred it, make it back into yarn and back into fabric, it's just one cycle that you're extending. So all those things, that is the next boom in this economy. If we can start finding ways to add value to our waste and really create an economy out of our waste, that's where we're going to make money as well as protect our waste.
Fitch Ratings in its latest report issued today says that bad loans at Sri Lanka's banks had risen 64% in the first quarter of 2019, marking the worst since 2013. The report stresses that weak asset quality and earnings will add to pressure on capital, and many small and medium-sized banks still need to raise equity capital to meet enhanced regulatory capital requirements by the end of 2020. Fitch Ratings reports that non-performing loans rose by 64% in 2018, the sharpest increase since 2013, when banks that had grown rapidly in gold-backed loans were exposed to steep falls in gold prices. The sector NPL ratio rose to 3.4% at end of 2018 from 2.5% at end of 2017, and the trend had accelerated this year with the ratio deteriorating to 4.2% at end of the first quarter 2019. The rating agency Fitch further adds that sector net profit declined by 9% 2% in 2018 as impairment charges more than doubled, and this trend is likely to continue this year due to declining asset quality. It also forecasts that a debt recovery levy imposed in late 2018 will push effective tax rates higher, further squeezing profits. The report also adds Sri Lanka's small and medium-sized banks are under the greatest pressure and their capital buffers are thin due to aggressive loan growth, muted earnings and rising credit risk. Keep tuning in for more news after this short commercial break. Welcome back. Director of Property Guru Asia Property Awards Jules K declared that Sri Lanka is still a strong and growing market despite the fact that country faced a series of bombings on April 21st. Thus, Director of Property Guru Asia Property Awards assured confidence in working with Sri Lanka at the announcement of the Property Guru Asia Awards held yesterday in Colombo. Thereby, Chairman of the Urban Development Authority, Dr. Jagat Munasinghe, won this award.
We're here to announce the Property Guru Asia Property Awards Sri Lanka edition, and also to let you know that we are still supporting Sri Lanka this year with these property awards, and that despite the tragic attacks earlier in the year, we still believe that Sri Lanka is a very strong, resilient and growing real estate market, and therefore we wish to include it as part of our Asia series of property awards which cover 15 countries around Asia. Now today we are in Sri Lanka to launch the awards and to announce our Real Estate Personality of the Year award. This award is selected by the editors of Property Report magazine, which is the Asia Property Awards official publication. And we presented this award this afternoon to Dr. Jagat Munasinghe.
Transparency International Sri Lanka reminds all parliamentarians that the 30th of June is the deadline which they have been given to submit their asset declarations to the Speaker or the President. TISL also writing separately for all the lawmakers' requests to make their asset declarations publicly available. Thus, speaking at the press conference, Senior Manager of Advocacy at TISL, Sankita Gunaratna, affirmed that knowing the assets of the parliamentarians will be instrumental in casting votes and changing the country's political environment.
Why are asset declarations really important? When we look at an asset declaration, we can see whatever is on record as being their assets and liabilities. And then as a voter, as an average citizen, we have an opportunity to compare this against the reality. Is this really true? We know there are many allegations of wealth accumulation among members of parliaments, among politicians. This is what takes the forefront in the people's understanding of who a politician is. And this is something that you can counter through making your asset declarations publicly available. And we know as election season approaches, as voters, there is a key decision and a key power that you have to decide on who you vote for. And when you make this decision, it is important that you are armed with information, accurate information, that you can base this decision upon. And it is in this context that we as TI Sri Lanka, Transparency International Sri Lanka, we highlight the importance of this information being publicly available so that there can be a public discussion around this information.
The National Chamber of Commerce yesterday announced the launch of the National Business Excellence Awards 2019 for the 16th consecutive year yesterday. The Excellence Awards comprises categories such as extra large, large, medium, small and micro businesses with diversified industry sectors. The awards will also create opportunity for 29 industry sectors, and the focus of the award competition is to render exposure, recognition and fame. We are promoting and motivating the brand image of the companies they represent. Meanwhile, addressing the event, President of the National Chamber of Commerce of Sri Lanka, Asela Dilivera, emphasized that this award competition will encourage the participants to excel in both national and global levels.
Business Excellence Awards are meant to reward companies that have excelled in their businesses. Competitions of this nature will encourage Sri Lankan businesses to excel not only at a national level but also compete at global levels. The Chamber's intention is not only to pick winners but more importantly to guide organizations with our evaluation scheme to attain the levels of excellence that are appropriate to world class companies. We have modified the evaluation scheme over the years to fit in line with the country's development.
The Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka filed action in the Magistrate Courts Colombo against two investors on charges of having committed the offence of market or price manipulation with regard to the shares of e-Channeling PLC. Issuing a statement, the Securities and Exchange Commission noted that the action was filed on the basis of evidence elicited during the course of an investigation conducted by the SEC and upon receiving the formal opinion of the Attorney General. Accordingly, the Magistrate Courts Colombo Fort issued summons on two accused, namely Mohammed Imtiaz Samuzdin and Mohammed Bafik Nizar, and the matter will be taken up on the 29th of August this year. Stay tuned for stock updates after this short commercial break. Welcome back. Trading at the Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The All-Share Price Index dropped 3.44 points to close at 5,345.13, and the S&P/SL 20 dropped 2.16 points to close at 2,477.76. The turnover was 337 million rupees with over 20 million shares being traded. Next up is Forex rates. Well, that's a wrap of the bulletin for the day, signing off with a promise for tomorrow at the same time with nothing but the latest. Thank you and good night.